Hello, this is Kingston Town Administrator Keith Hickey with a new show called This Week in Kingston. On a weekly basis, I'll be coming on PAC TV and providing an update to the residents of Kingston on issues that are of concern and of issue to people who may be interested in what's happening in Kingston on a weekly basis. So this week is week number one. If anybody has any comments or questions in the future that they'd like to have included in the show, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to try to include those in the next show. So this week, a lot of things going on in town, obviously. Some good news, our COVID numbers in Kingston continue to drop. We've gone from the red designation from the state to yellow. So while it's still not perfect, it is definitely improving. Things are getting much better. So we're happy to see that. Thank you to everybody who is trying to do the best they can at wearing their masks and social distancing and things of that nature. Hopefully we'll be getting back to normal in the near future. In addition to that COVID update, just to let everybody know, our Board of Health, our health agent, and the fire chief in Kingston are working together to attempt to have a regional vaccination center in Kingston at the Kingston Collection. We have a number of communities that surround Kingston that are interested in participating with us. So we're working collaboratively with them to make sure that we provide as strong a case as we possibly can to allow the state to provide a vaccination center here regionally. The staff has been meeting with the state a couple of times, and we're hopeful to have a final decision sometime in the next 30 days or so. So hopefully things work out well. People will be able to come to the vaccination center right in their community. In addition, a couple of things happening at the Board of Selectmen meetings that I want to make sure people are aware of. We had a lengthy conversation a couple of weeks ago at the board meeting regarding whether or not the town should exercise its right of first refusal on a parcel off of Winthrop Street. That parcel is being proposed by the owner to be redeveloped or developed, into single-family housing. The town, because the property was designated as farmland, had been receiving a significant property tax break over the past several years. They have to offer the property to the town of Kingston. And the town has the ability at that point to accept the ability to purchase that property and bring that property forward to town meeting, or exercise its right of first refusal. This has been an ongoing issue now with that property owner for approximately 10 months. The board had a public hearing, as I mentioned, late in February to hear some concerns from the neighbors. The property is proposed to be sold, the 46 acres, to a developer for about $800,000. So basically, if the town of Kingston would like to use its right of first refusal and acquire the property, price tag is $800,000. The Board of Selectmen will be discussing that more at their March 16th meeting. Anybody who's interested can certainly attend via Zoom and weigh in on what you think the Board of Selectmen should do. If they do decide to acquire the property, what I would assume would happen is there would be a warrant article on the spring town meeting ballot to appropriate $800,000 for the purchase of that property. Obviously, the neighbors and the people who live in the area are very passionate about keeping that as a undeveloped piece of property, and have been very vocal with the town to sponsor an article so that property remains vacant. Some budgetary issues, just to make people aware of the timelines. We're working now on reviewing the budget for fiscal 2022 with the Finance Committee. The Finance Committee is meeting about once a week right now to review a number of budgets, departmental budgets, as they work their way through. Town meeting will be held in May. The board will be discussing the appropriate location for that meeting, whether it be its normal location at one of the schools or at one of the areas in the Kingston collection area mall, similar to what happened last fall. lot of decisions have to be made, and obviously it's going to be very dependent on the COVID situation and where things stand with that. The Capital Planning Committee just finished reviewing the capital requests for fiscal 22. Those capital requests total just over $1 million, which is significantly more than what has been appropriated in past years. The committee feels as though with the funding that's available to us through free cash and other reserves, there's an opportunity here to address more of the capital needs of the community now than what has been done in the past. So that'll be an ongoing discussion, I'm sure, through town meeting. The Capital Planning Committee will be meeting at a date sometime in March with the Finance Committee to present the capital plan to them and see if they can get their endorsement as things move forward. Beyond that, right now, a lot of things happening, obviously. Some developments occurring in town. We're spending a lot of time dealing, as I mentioned earlier, with the COVID situation. Town house, excuse me, is opened up again to the public. We would urge anybody who has any business to do, if they can do it electronically and online, to do it. But if you need to come into the building is open. We would just make sure people wear masks if they could. We're hoping the library and the senior center will be opening sometime in the near future. Those buildings have been closed again due to the COVID situation, but as things continue to improve, we're hoping that that those buildings and the services they provide will be back open to the public in the near future. Beyond that, not a lot going on in town. I will be having, as I mentioned, we'll be talking about ongoing topics in town on a weekly basis. I'll be having some guests up here with me in the show to provide some information and insight on what's going on in the departments or their organizations. As I've been here now just about a month, if anybody has any questions or comments, I'd ask you to please feel free to give me a call. I'd be happy to talk to you about any concerns, pro or con, within the town of Kingston, to try to address those as best I can. I look forward to meeting more people as time goes on, and excited to be here. So thanks very much for watching our first show, and we'll talk to you again next week. Thanks so much.